following Chrisean Rock's public appearance with her 2-year-old son, Chrisean Jesus Porter, who is still unable to walk, speak, or keep his head up. Fans are concerned. Once more, the internet is concerned. And this time, the warning signs are more obvious than ever because Chrisean Rock has once again appeared in public with her son, Chrisean Jesus Porter Jr., who is now almost 2 years old. And it is obvious to almost everyone that something is wrong. This baby, who is over 2 years old, is still unable to walk, communicate, hold his head up, or use his eyes to follow a simple item. Additionally, since his initial online appearance, admirers have been speculating about his condition.
And not happy. So that was the whole, process of okay. I'm sorry. Why your feelings be hurt like that? Okay. You're not crying.
Whispers have become a full-fledged commotion. Due to this latest public appearance, let's be truthful, the worry wasn't born today. It all started when Chrisean uploaded her very first video of Junior at 4 months old. She was emotional and open in that video, even crying as she held her infant and referred to parenthood as the most beautiful thing in the world. She extolled her baby's intelligence, strength, and developing brilliance. However, viewers didn't see that.
Baby, let's start making beds now. Come on now, I'm calling. I got $5,000 that Chrisean Rock and Blueface have a baby. Baby gonna be dumb in the. They not finna have a healthy baby. Listen, I got on it right now. I got $2,000. I got a side bet that the baby don't make it. I got a $2,000 side bet that they baby don't make it. I who want to bet? If it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be artistic. Or if it ain't be artistic.
Online users instantly drew attention to Junior's poor eye, coordination, clumsy head motions, and shrieking cat-like cries, all of which didn't seem like they belonged to a healthy infant. Concerned parents, medical experts, and regular users with children of their own started leaving comments in droves. Chrisean Rock is in denial when it comes to Junior. One viewer commented, "He isn't making progress. He should be able to follow. Things raise his chest on his stomach and coo by the time he is 4 months old."
What he diagnosed with, and what he look like, and what he sound like. Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this, bro. You know why? Cause all the glory to God, bro. Like, they're gonna be looking real stupid.
She's out here claiming that he can smell her marijuana. Not to mention that the baby was still meowing. It wasn't crying like a baby, literally. Screamed, sounding less like a baby and more like an animal. Just that cry raised questions about potential neurological problems or developmental delays, which could be symptoms of fetal alcohol syndrome or another unidentified illness. Naturally, Chrisean supporters rushed to her support. They quickly dismissed the criticism, accusing the internet of being uneducated, judgmental, and harsh. They asserted that even if something was amiss, it was most likely genetic and unrelated to her actions throughout pregnancy, and that the kid was simply growing at his own rate.
It was taking too long.
What was?
The hernia.
For her to get care?
Yeah, okay. It was taking way too long. I wasn't notified until maybe a week after she had the baby. And then I'm telling her, like, how she sent me the picture and I'm looking like, How is this okay for you? Like,
When he posted that, I didn't look at the photo
All right, let
because
me put my feet up, yo.
you sent him the photo because what? Like, explain.
Guys, it's his son, y'all. I'm like, he texts my phone about, you doing this, little baby. I'm like, bro, your son is about to go under anesthesia for a big hernia. Can I just at least get a little bit, like, do you care about our son's life right now, bro? Like, this what it looks like. I'm not capping. Can you calm down? I didn't know he.
Critics were even accused by some of pretending to be doctors without a license. However, this is where chaos arises. Chrisean's pregnancy was risky since it wasn't only tumultuous. She continued to have parties. She continued to struggle. She continued to drink and smoke. She was frequently spotted in fights, clubs, live streaming, and clutching bottles with pride, as if she were at a bachelorette party. While bearing Junior in her belly, she did all of this. Furthermore, in one of his now famous tweets, Blueface, the man she says is Junior's father, publicly acknowledged it. If that wasn't enough, evidence. My son is not healthy because she smoked, drank, and got hit during her entire pregnancy, he stated. She was unable to take even a month off. Those weren't ambiguous words. They were straightforward. An outspoken condemnation of her whole pregnancy. He even asserted that she smoked while giving birth and en route to the hospital. Take a moment to process that. If that weren't unsettling enough, things took a turn for the worst when Chrisean went live on Instagram one evening to defend the enormous tattoo of Blueface's mugshot picture that she had just had done on her face, rather than to see how her baby was doing. However, viewers heard something else in the background as she argued and yelled into her phone. Her infant is sobbing. Furthermore, this was not your typical baby cry. In all honesty, it was heartbreaking, terrible, and
And see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh, God.
And it crushed my heart a little bit, it did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie, my first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt, genuinely hurt. But you know what I said? You know what? That's okay. That's okay. If he can laugh and he can cry and he can smile.
critics were even accused by some of pretending to be doctors without a license. However, this is where chaos arises. Chrisean's pregnancy was risky since it wasn't only tumultuous. She continued to have parties. She continued to struggle. She continued to drink and smoke. She was frequently spotted in fights, clubs, live, streaming, and clutching bottles with pride as if she were at a bachelorette party. While bearing Junior in her belly, she did all of this. Furthermore, in one of his now famous tweets, Blueface, the man she says is Junior's father, publicly acknowledged it. If that wasn't enough evidence, my son is not healthy because she smoked, drank, and got hit during her entire pregnancy, he stated. She was unable to take even a month off. Those weren't ambiguous words. They were straightforward, an outspoken condemnation of her whole pregnancy. He even asserted that she smoked while giving birth and en route to the hospital. Take a moment to process that. As if that weren't unsettling enough, things took a turn for the worst when Chrisean went live on Instagram one evening to defend the enormous tattoo of Blueface's mugshot picture that she had just had done on her face, rather than to see how her baby was doing. However, viewers heard something else in the background as she argued and yelled into her phone. Her infant is sobbing. Furthermore, this was not your typical baby cry. In all honesty, it was heartbreaking.
Is in fact blind in both eyes, and that was confirmed by Clarissa Blueface's mom. And I'm telling you, I have to go back and watch the video to when they was in a restaurant, because that's the first thing my mind went to. They was in a restaurant and Chrisean was trying to feed him mashed potatoes, and he wasn't grabbing for the spoon. He wasn't even opening up his mouth, and it makes sense now because he could not see anything. Like, it all makes sense. He wasn't even really blinking. Like, he was just straight staring into the distance. And it's just sad. Like, we all knew like something was wrong, even though she did confirm some type of syndrome that causes him to like cry like he's a cat. They did confirm that. At least Clarissa confirmed that. I don't remember Chrisean confirming anything like that. But man, I mean, like, my heart really goes out to this little boy, because his mom was definitely smoking and drinking while she was pregnant. And we all seen her on Blueface and Chrisean little TV show. We seen her on the Bad Girls Club. We seen
lack of social conduct, and the list of warning signs is endless. Because Junior doesn't blink or track his eyes. Some people even think he might be blind. Nor is it a theory that just happened. In a tearful video, Clarissa Blueface's mother expressed similar worries, stating, "I couldn't tell if he was staring at me, the sky, or nothing at all as I gazed into his face. My heart was broken." Chrisean maintains that her child is okay in spite of everything. She asserted in a recent video that he is playing, walking, and engaging in all activities appropriate for a child of his age. However, a new video appeared, an uncut video of Junior in public. And once more he appeared disoriented, motionless, and oblivious to his surroundings. Let's be clear. Most children can walk and even run, recognize people and objects, follow directions, communicate their feelings, and utter simple words by the time they are 24 months old. Junior, you're still not talking, not moving, and not looking. People are upset because of this. "Chrisean Rock really pisses me off," one person wrote. "Your infant requires expert assistance." However, admitting that would imply taking accountability for your actions throughout pregnancy. And she isn't prepared for that. This leads us to the hernia incident, which is among the most tragic aspects of the entire story. Junior suffered from a painful and potentially hazardous ailment known as a visible hernia. Blueface also claims that Chrisean postponed his procedure. She dragged her feet, skipped follow-ups, and missed appointments. She was even compelled to act after Blueface revealed the hernia on social media. Yes, he publicly humiliated Chrisean into becoming a better mother by posting a picture of his child's illness. However, that only made matters worse because he said it was taking too long when asked why he shared it. "It took a week after his birth for me to be informed. When I saw the picture, I was unable to comprehend why she was okay with this. Well, as she. Although she acknowledged sending him the photo, she said she was unaware that he would post it. Can I just get a little break?" she said. "You're texting me about drama while your son is about to be put under anesthesia. For example, are you concerned about our son's life? They're both engaged in combat. Both are claiming that the other is unfit, and a newborn who didn't request any of this is caught in the midst of this battleground. The mother of Blueface has had enough." Clarissa talked candidly and openly about her first impressions of her grandchild in a different video. "I was unwilling to accept it. When I saw him at that restaurant, it broke my heart, even though I believe the internet was overstating things. He didn't have his hand out for the spoon, not even his mouth was opening. We now understand why he was blind. He had no sight. Help is needed for that infant. We now find ourselves in a situation where millions of people are missing every milestone, staring into space and listening to a baby howl in agony. His mother continues to maintain that he is okay. In the end, this child needs care regardless of who is to blame: the drama, the tattoos, the drugs, the parties, the fights, and the shadow, medical, developmental, and professional assistance. And the longer this continues, the more Cyprian rejects it. The more harm is done for Junior's future as well as his physical health. We've said all we have to say at this point, so it's your turn. What are your thoughts? Is Chrisean denying anything? Is Blueface taking advantage of the circumstance? Above all, who is actually watching out for Junior? Tell us in the comments section. And keep checking back for the next video, because the baby deserves more, and the drama in this narrative is genuine.